Marcus had been opening his auto detailing shop before sunrise for almost 3 years. By 6:30 every morning the lights were on, buckets lined up, towels folded, vacuum hoses dragged across the concrete. By 7, the first customer was already pulling in. From the outside, the place looked alive. Cars came in all day. Customers complimented the work. Reviews were good. Marcus barely sat down. He skipped lunch half the time. Some nights he locked up after dark with his shirt soaked through, hands cracked, knees aching, and a brain that felt like it had been ground into dust. But every Sunday night, he sat at the same metal desk in the back office, opened the same banking app, and felt the same quiet panic. There was never enough left. Not enough to breathe, not enough to hire real help, not enough to upgrade equipment, not enough to get ahead, just enough to stay trapped. One afternoon, a black sedan rolled in just before closing. Marcus almost waved it off. He was tired, 2 jobs behind, and in no mood for another last-minute customer. But the man who stepped out didn't look rushed. He looked around once. He took in the line of cars, the workers moving fast, the menu board, the waiting area, the stack of air fresheners near the register, and then asked a strange question. "Are you making money or are you just making noise?" Marcus gave a tired laugh. "Depends what you call money." The man nodded toward the lot. "You're busy. That's not the same thing." Marcus crossed his arms. "We stay full. That should mean something." "It does," the man said. "It means demand exists, but demand alone doesn't build wealth." That irritated Marcus. He pointed at the shop. "Every bay is full. People keep coming back. We do great work, so what's the problem?" The man stepped toward the menu board. "Basic wash, interior vacuum, full detail, express wax." Then he asked, "What's your highest margin service?" Marcus hesitated. He knew what sold most. He knew what people asked for. He knew what competitors charged. But margin? He wasn't sure. The man smiled slightly. "That's the first problem." Then he pointed at the cheapest service on the board. "This is what brings them in, right?" Marcus nodded. "Most people start there. And then what happens?" "We clean the car." "And after that?" Marcus paused. "They leave." The man nodded again. "There's your second problem. You built a business around one transaction." Marcus frowned. "That's how detailing works." "No," the man said. "That's how struggling operators think detailing works." Then he broke it down. "You're spending your best time, labor, and energy selling low-ticket work to people who may never come back. Your bays are full, but your profit is thin. Your team stays moving, but the business stays stuck. You don't have a customer problem, you have a value ladder problem." Marcus stared at him. The man continued. "You need one service that gets people in, one service that increases the ticket, and one offer that brings them back." Then he pointed at the board again. "Your basic wash should be the bait. Your premium package should be the profit. Your monthly maintenance membership should be the real business." Marcus said nothing, because for the first time the problem had a shape. The man kept going. "Right now you're selling labor. That's why you're tired. You need to start selling outcomes, convenience, protection, pride, save time, repeat care." Then he gave Marcus 3 changes. First, lower the friction on the entry service so first-time customers say yes faster. Second, create a premium package that feels like the obvious upgrade, not an expensive add-on. Third, offer every customer a simple monthly plan before they leave, not someday, not online later, right there, before they drive off. Marcus made the changes that week. He kept the entry service simple and attractive. He rebuilt the premium offer around what customers actually cared about. He added a maintenance membership with priority booking and discounted touch-ups. 30 days later, the lot looked almost the same. Still busy, still moving, still full. But now the numbers were different. Average ticket was up. Repeat visits were climbing. Cash flow stopped disappearing. For the first time in years, Marcus wasn't just surviving the month, he was building something. That was the lesson. A packed business can still be a broken business, because being busy is not the goal. Getting paid properly is the goal, and the people who stay broke the longest are usually the ones doing the most, for the smallest return. If this changed how you think, like the video. Subscribe. Tap the bell so you don't miss the next breakdown. If you're not following the Wealth Without Illusions channel, you may not see us again. But if you do follow, then congratulations. You're growing consistently every day.